Hello and welcome to Thought for the Week. We've really enjoyed making these Bible story videos for schools and we thought we'd like to share them with you too. And all of these stories are on the theme of hope. And this week it's about hope in the darkness and the story of Noah. Let's see that video now.
One day, God looked at the beautiful earth he had made, but he was sad. So sad, in fact, that he regretted ever having made it. When he looked at the earth, he saw violence and evil. In fact, he was so sad and angry, he said,
"I'm sorry I made those humans and all the animals. I think I have to wipe them off the face of the earth and start again."
But as he was looking at the earth, he spotted a good man called Noah. Noah had a wife and 3 sons, Shem, Ham and Japheth, and they each had a wife. Then one day God spoke to Noah.
"Noah, the earth is full of violence and is ruining, and I have decided to destroy it, all except you and your family and a few animals, birds and reptiles."
I'm sure at this point Noah must have puzzled and wondered what God's plan was for keeping him safe. God told him,
"You must build an ark, a huge boat with enough room in it for you and your family and all the creatures, and enough room for lots of food. Then I will send a flood, a great flood, to wash away the evil in the world."
Noah was stunned, but God gave him the dimensions so he could build the ark the right size. I'm sure Noah was concerned about what was to happen, but he trusted God and he hoped that everything would be okay. He set about building the ark. He gathered together all the animals, birds and reptiles. He gathered enough food for all of them and hoped they would have enough. And when they were all in the ark, God closed the doors so no water could get in. And they waited. Then the rain began to come down. Then the waters under the earth bubbled up. It rained day after day after day, and the ark floated on the rising waters. For 150 days it continued to rise, and everything was drowned by the great flood. When would it end? God had said it would. Noah hoped it would. He hoped their dwindling food supplies would last. But all they could hear was the sound of the raindrops and water splashing on the side of the ark. Then the rain stopped and God sent a wind to blow over the waters, and the water started to go down. And it took another 150 days to go down. Noah hoped it would hurry up. Noah wondered how he would know it was safe. They'd been on the ark a long time in a dark place. They hoped for a better time ahead. So Noah sent out a raven. But there was nowhere for the raven to land, so it just kept flying around. Later he sent a dove. The dove flew around but came back to the ark because there was nowhere to land. 7 days later he sent it out again. This time it came back with an olive leaf in its beak. Noah was excited, and 7 days later he sent it out again. It didn't come back. Why? Because the earth was drying out and it had found somewhere to live. Noah and his family cheered.
Hooray!
Noah called out,
"Let's have a party!"
and they did. And they thanked God for keeping them safe. And God said,
"I know humans will still be wicked sometimes, but I will never send a flood to destroy the earth. I am sending a rainbow as my promise. Whenever the clouds come and a rainbow appears, it will remind me of my promise to you and all the animals."
Noah hoped God would keep his promise to the world. God hoped that humans would be kinder to each other and that the world would be a better place.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. It's all about the relationship between God and the people he's created. God made the world good, but people had started to mess it up. Only one family was found who actually were doing what God wanted, the family of Noah. So God comes to Noah and asks him to build a special boat to rescue him and his family from the huge flood that's about to come on the earth. And through them, God wants to give humanity a new start. But to get to that new start, Noah and his family have to go through a really dark time themselves. They're shut up in a small space, they're going hungry, they haven't quite got enough to eat to see them through, and it's a long, long time in the waiting. And only hope could see them through to a better future. When we're in a really dark time in our own lives, with constant illness and some life-threatening diseases, and feeling very bleak ourselves after numerous attempted break-ins on the house we were living in East Africa, we needed a safe place to come to and to be restored and to give us that hope for a new future. When we were in that dark place, it was only our hope in God and Christians praying for us that made the difference and gave us that hope that we could see a new future. Christians have been praying through this pandemic, and we're now beginning to see signs that there might be an end in sight. There have been some vaccines developed, and maybe a little bit like Noah sending out the dove when it comes back with an olive leaf in its beak. There's signs that new life might be around the corner and that we might be able to see a life beyond COVID. And that there will come a day when we might be able to party again and be together with all our friends. Won't that be great? But will the world be a better place? Will we have learned to do what God wants and be kinder to one another? That's up to me and you. One of the ways in which we could do that is to actually have our own ark. That is, acts of random kindness, A-R-K. And if we do those acts of random kindness, we might think about somebody that we can help to give a better future. We might think of just one person that we can help this week by blessing them in some way in order to give them hope that there is life beyond the present darkness and to help them out of a dark place of their own. And in that way, we'll be helping to build a better future for ourselves and for others. May God bless you as you seek to do that this week. Thank you for watching and have a really good week. God bless.